Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I haven't said this in like a couple of months, and it's just horrible that for someone who thought that she was going to build a beautiful career out of YouTube, this has become my life. So I just finished filming a TikTok rant video. I have a couple of skin products here that I am just trying to organize, because I am someone who has been struggling with skincare problems. And I just really went onto TikTok to just say that, I mean, the fact that you use some products recommended by your favorite influencers and they didn't work for you, it doesn't mean that those products are bad. They're just not working for you. So that was basically what my rant was about. The time is, let's see, what's the time? Is 5:37. So I finished work at past 4. I worked from home today, and I received some orders from TikTok shop, which I had to return some of them because some of them didn't fit because the sizes are just not regular. Let me just not start ranting about sizes, whether they're regular or not. For a couple of days now, I've been feeling really tired. I've been having lots of headaches and tiredness, stress. I have been pushing my body to its limits, so I think I just need to take a break. Thankfully, next week I'm having a getaway and I am going to film it. I will try to film it to the best of my ability, because the last time I had a similar getaway, I said I was going to film it and I ended up not filming it, and that was how I had videos, but the time to just sit down and edit and put out the content in such a way that it looks organized and beautiful, that's something I didn't do and I regret it. But I mean, the videos are still there, but I still don't want to. I feel like the moment is already gone, so there's no need to start bringing back those videos, editing and putting them out. I am coming out here so that you guys can hold me accountable. I am struggling with consistency here. I try to put out shorts once in a while. I try to put out TikTok videos once in a while, but yeah, it's just not working out. And I'm just wondering, like, which social media platform should I focus on? Should I focus on TikTok or should I focus on YouTube? I am definitely not an Instagram person. I just go onto Instagram once in a blue moon and dump some pictures there and disappear. I almost don't go to Instagram every day. I just go there like once in a while to see what's going on, and then I'm out. When I set up my camera to film this video, to be honest, I had nothing in mind to talk about. But I just feel like you lot haven't seen my face in a very, very long time, so I thought I should just come here and let you know that I'm still alive, I'm still here, I'm still working. I still have my 8 to 4 job that I go to every day. I work from home twice in a week, and the other 3 days I go into the office. Work is quite stressful, quite mentally draining and tasking, but yeah, that's what pays the bills. So yes, I'm still doing the job. Okay, so there's this really controversial topic that's coming to my head, and I'm thinking about it, that should I talk about it, because if I talk about it, shots will be fired. Lots of shots will be fired, and some of you may come for me. But it's still the truth, though. It's still the truth. I feel like the struggle for people who move to the UK through the school route is way more than the struggle for people who come to the UK through the work visa route, the skilled worker visa route. Because you come into school, take for example, you're doing a 1-year course. You have to, your fees are about £20,000. So just in case you haven't paid your fees in full and you pay a deposit, you still have to struggle to pay up the balance before you can now think about other things like your rent, feeding, just other stressful things that come with life. So, but for people who come through the skilled worker visa route, they come in knowing that they don't have to think about sponsorship. They don't have to think about what they need to do to remain in the country. Like, they just know they need to work for the remaining period. Let's say your visa is 3 years or 5 years. You just need to work for up to that amount of time before you get your indefinite leave to remain. But for people that came through the student route. When you finish with your studies, you now have to start thinking, do I want to go on a post-study work visa, or do I want to go back to my country where I'm coming from, or what do I need to do to get me a job that would offer sponsorship? I think in the last long form content that I did, I said I was going to tell you about how we eventually got sponsorship. So maybe that should be the topic of this video. What do you guys think? What do you think? Okay, let's make that the topic of this video. So we came into the UK in July. No, it wasn't July. It was August 17, 2022. That's where we landed in the Obodo in this country. And of course, we came in through the student visa route. I came in to study a master's in management and international business, which I did, and I studied that up till September. So September was the official end of my course. So I did my project and everything ended in September, but my graduation was in December. So that was when I got to collect my certificate and all of that. So yes, that was when I officially rounded up with school. Before my graduation, I got a job in September, but it wasn't a full-time job and it wasn't a permanent job. So you know how you get contract workers or you get casual workers. So that was the kind of job. So it was a normal white-collar job. I was working as a business support officer. So I was working in the call center as a business support officer. So I was taking calls, I was doing emails, and all of that. Basic customer service. I had done a lot of customer service in Nigeria before I came here, so customer service is not new to me. Aside from the CV writing, supporting statement, cover letters, personal statements, and the rest of the other things that I do on the side, but customer service is something I've been doing for the longest time. I dare say that I have almost 10 years of experience in customer service. Stop trying to guess my age. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, so I got that job and I started the job in September 2023 and I did that job up till November 2023. And before then, I was trying to speak to my employer at the time to see if they could offer me sponsorship because, to be honest, I liked the job. I liked where I was. I loved the flexibility. I liked how open-minded and how free the team was. There was nothing toxic about the environment. I loved it. Like, you know how everyone had this large open office space where you can move from one desk to another and just stretch your legs sometimes when you feel like you've had enough calls and you just need a break. So the building was very big, like it had 4 large floors, like lots of space. So if you ever felt like you needed to clear your head, you can just go to the next floor where there's absolutely nobody. You can book yourself a room and just sit down and just have your space and have your time to yourself. So yeah, that's what I was doing for 2 months and I really, 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 really loved the place. So yeah. But then I had to bear in mind that our student visa was going to expire in January. Mind you, we were in September 2023 and it was going to expire in January 2024. So while I was enjoying the job and trying not to get carried away, I was also thinking like, what are we going to do to get sponsorship, myself and my husband? And I approached my manager to just say that if this is available, if this is on the table, this is something that I would want if the company would want to sponsor. And he said they haven't done anything like that in recent times, but he will speak to someone that will speak to another person and they will find out if they could help me out. Because the manager was like, oh, I like you very much, we love you in the team and we don't want you to go. We would absolutely want to keep you even though you are a contract worker / casual staff. So the thing is, I was working part-time at the time because of course I had not finished my course when I started the job then, so I could only work part-time. But at the time when I finished my course in September, I was allowed to start working full-time and I absolutely loved the team and the team loved me too. We loved each other. Fairy love story, fairy tale. Anyways, I was very happy then. I didn't want to leave. Manager said he was going to do his best, absolutely, to keep me in the team. But then I needed to understand that there were some things that were just above his pay grade. But he said he would do his best to fight for me to remain in the team. And I was like, okay, fingers crossed, praying about it while also applying for other jobs. So I knew that another way that we could get sponsorship or get sponsored to remain in the country was through the NHS. So while I was doing my job very diligently, I was also applying to the NHS. And when you apply for jobs casually without necessarily thinking that anything can come out of it, I would just do it just for the sake of doing it. But I was just like, I had lost hope, to be honest. So on one of the days when I had done my usual applications, I got an email to say that I had been invited for an interview to an NHS job. And I saw it and I was like, it was one of those interviews, because mind you, I had gone for several NHS interviews and I wasn't successful. So like, oh, is it one of those interviews where I'd go and you guys just see the color of my skin and then next thing you guys find a reason to disqualify me? That's what I thought. And I wasn't honestly excited or keen on attending the interview. So I think on that day, my interview was scheduled for, was it 12 o'clock? I can't remember. And I replied to the email to say that I have a job and that I need to resume at a particular time, I think 12 o'clock. So can I have the interview earlier? And that's one good thing about the NHS. They always offer you reasonable adjustments and all of that. So after I emailed the lady, she was like, yeah, of course, we can have the interview earlier if that's okay by you. Yeah, we can. And rescheduled. I went for the interview, and after I went for the interview, trust me, I just left the place without any sort of hopes raised. I did not have my hopes up. Like, when you're just like, yeah, God, I leave everything in your hands. Anything else to happen should happen. I did not have my hopes up. So finished the interview, my husband came to pick me, dropped me at work, and I carried on my work for that day like nothing special happened. I didn't breathe a word of the interview to anyone. I just, apart from my friends, I'm sure you know them, Adnan, TY, and Priya. I just told them about it, and they just kept gassing me up like, yeah, don't worry, you guys, you get it, don't worry. And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, I think my storytelling skills are rusty, but I need to brush up. Anyways, back. So yeah, I went to work that day and everything went, and the next day carried on, came to work again. And then the good thing about where I was working at the time was that they were very flexible, like extremely flexible. You could have your phone on your desk, you can take your calls, like no one was micromanaging. Absolutely nobody micromanages anybody. That's what I love about the team. Anyways, I had a call, I logged out from the call center thing application, went out to take my call, and it was from the interviewer from the previous day. And she said, my name is this, calling from this. You had an interview with our team yesterday. First, how do you think you did? To be honest, I didn't think I did anything special. So I just said, I think I did okay. And she's like, oh, yes, you did okay. You actually did more than okay. And I'm like, okay. I'm calling to let you know that you've been successful at the job, and so we're going to start the paperwork, the what they call it, pre-employment checks, and from there we can agree on a start date, and then you can start. I couldn't believe my ears. I was very happy, like finally I got into the NHS. Finally, I was so excited. At the same time, I was not happy that I'd have to leave this job, because this one had already gotten back to me to tell me that the sponsorship is not looking very promising. So my manager told me straight up, if you have any other option, go for it. But if it was left to me, I would like to keep you here. If you have other options, go for it. I can only wish you, I would only tell you to put yourself first. And I said, Oga, Ngwano, you have told me now that I should be going. So finally, it was successful. I had to tell my manager that I got a job somewhere else, and I would have to leave. And this is only because the prospects of getting sponsored are higher in this other place, since you guys have told me that you're not giving sponsorship. As at the time, the NHS had not told me that they will be sponsoring me or anything like that. They had not given me any guarantees, because they told me that we can see that your visa is going to expire in January 2024. What would you do to extend your visa so you can continue working with us? I just told them that, to be very honest, my plan, or our plan, is to go for the post-study work visa to extend our stay in the UK. And she's like, okay, that's fine. That's okay then. Cool. So that's how I was still pressing in this current job for how they could sponsor me. I kept on pressing, like, you guys, are you sure there's nothing you can do to keep me here? Manager tried. lots of other people tried pressing buttons here and there, but it just wasn't happening. And yes, that was how we finally said our goodbyes. I came into the office. In fact, my manager ensured that I worked in the very last day, like as long as we what's the English now? Words, what are feeling me? We would like to have you working with us for as long as possible. So let's say I stopped working with that job on the 16th of November. I started my new job on the 17th. So I went from job to job. There was no 1 day break or 2 days break to even relax and even, clear your head, mentally prepare yourself for the new job. Anyways, that's how I switched to this other job. Should I break this video here or should I continue? Anyways, so this is how I transitioned from that job to the NHS, and I would break this video and tell you the rest of how the sponsorship actually came in another video. If you've watched up to this point, thank you very much. I am so rusty. If this video is all over the place, please forgive me. Do not be upset. Just take it like that. I'll try to make the other video less scattered. But for now, thank you for having me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the rest of my video, in the other video. Love you guys. Bye.